So hey, it's Simeon. Thanks for visiting my YouTube channel again. We're still here at the UFO MegaCon in Laughlin, Nevada, and we've got another amazing Nimitz 2004 witness to tell us what he saw. This is Jason Turner. Thanks for being with us, Jason.
Thanks.
Enjoyed the presentation last night from the panel. And you're kind of a newer witness to this whole incident because
Right.
you, I think was, if I understand this correctly, you contacted Dave Beatty from the...
Once the video come out, that's when I contacted Dave and was like, hey, finally, vindication. You know?
Yeah, I was really happy that day when I saw it, the Nimitz experience, and we know he's coming out with a new version of it on April 2nd of this year. So, Jason, what was your vantage point on this incident? What were you doing at the time in the Nimitz strike group, and what did you see?
I worked down in supply. In 2001, I went to submarine school, and then I was able to get a top secret clearance.
Get a top secret clearance.
Before I went to the submarine.
Yeah.
And then I figured out the submarine life wasn't for me. I went surface and wound up being a supply guy on the USS Princeton.
Yeah.
And from there, that's kind of where it leads into
the whole story here. The supply guy deals with parts, right?
Parts, yeah,
and it has top secret clearance to deal with parts, or
not necessarily. No, I mean just some of the you can have like a secret clearance, or you could have just even lower clearances for certain areas. I did air on the Princeton with the air department and the DLRs, which is a defense level repairables, and like your computers and the computer chips and things like that.
I see. And how did you end up being involved with this actual Tic Tac incident? What was your vantage point?
Well, the day that it happened, let's back up a little bit.
Sure.
Leading up to that day, being in the position where I was, not up in combat, this is from just a regular ship's crew. The whole demeanor of the ship was kind of, it was off. Like when this stuff was happening prior to the day of this video.
Well, how was it off? What was different about it?
Everybody was just acting kind of, real hush-hush.
They were.
Quiet. Yeah, everybody was.
Everybody on the Princeton.
And then there's a lot of, what's going on, questions.
People had questions.
Scuttlebutt going around.
Because it had been going on for a couple of days, as Kevin told us.
Yeah, it had been a couple of days.
People knew about it.
Right.
That's interesting.
And,
I hadn't heard.
And the people who were open to that information weren't really talking.
You weren't talking.
Yeah, because at that point, you don't want to sound like an idiot to everybody else. Like, what are you talking about?
But everyone had the feeling something was going on, but no one's talking. How many people are on your ship?
Just over 400.
Just over 400.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the ship's 55 feet in beam, 567 feet long, 400 people. You kind of understand who you're dealing with.
Right.
And when your friends are starting to be real hush about things that are happening, you kind of
wondering.
Yeah. So you kind of start questioning things.
And so you have this kind of odd mood on the ship, and all of a sudden, what happens next?
The day of where the video is, we actually went to battle stations. So that wherever you go through and you do dog zebra throughout the ship and shut down all and it was there. We were in 3 or 4 hours that we were in
battle stations.
Yeah. So and we are we would come up behind the Nimitz during battle stations and play plane guard, so that they would if
plane guard.
Plane guard, yeah. And all the while they're controlling the flights that are going out. Kevin would be the one that was in there doing it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, after that happened, that really, because we're all like, what the heck are we doing?
Right. It was not typical in combat exercise.
Well, and it's usually, if it's a drill, they'll tell you it's a drill. This wasn't a drill.
This was not a drill.
No,
this is not a drill.
Right. So this was real life, real, scenario here.
And so you hear the planes launching from the Nimitz?
Well, we don't really hear them, because they're about 2 or 3 miles away.
Oh, okay, they're a
until
couple
we
miles
get up.
away.
But then, like, when we pull in plane guard, we're about a mile, a mile behind them.
What do you do in plane guard?
We just sit back there. They'll use us as a pivot point.
As a pivot
the
point,
pilots do, and then come in and land. Or
For the final, when they're coming into land, they see the...
like in 2003, when we were on our deployment, we had a plane go down from the Nimitz, and then we go up and try to recover everything.
I got it.
But also, they're doing air traffic control, or not traffic control, but they're telling the planes where to go, what to do.
And they can use you as kind of positioning to see from the air. I get it. How did you end up seeing the actual Tic Tac footage? How did that happen?
I had a friend who worked up in CES, which is a ship signal exploitation space, where the cryptologic techs work. And just so happened I had to take a part up there too.
You're taking a part up there.
Right, and there's a sign-in log if you ever enter that space. So I'm on that sign-in log, and I can prove that I was there. It's just you'd have to do a FOIA request for it, but it's there. And when I went in, you walk in, like there's a black curtain that goes here, but you walk in to the left, there's a computer sitting there. It's like just a big console. There's four consoles around there. And on that one particular console, there it was playing. And, so I'm watching this as we're switching out the part, and I'm like, holy crap, what is that? So then, I had a friend of mine tell me, and I'm not going to name his name, but, what was going on.
What was going on, and what did he say was going on?
Well, it's just, this is why we went to battle stations. We don't know what this is.
You don't know what this is.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm watching this thing, and what you see on the video that got released, that's actually the very beginning of the full video.
That's the very beginning.
Yeah,
that's the little part where you see the thing in the FLIR scope and it takes off.
That's not really taking off.
Oh, what is that?
That's just moving.
That's just moving.
Right.
Okay.
The further the video got along, the more that they chased this thing. Sporadic. I mean, it was all over the place.
And this is what you saw.
Right.
And it's all over the place.
Right.
They're trying to keep up with.
And it'll straight up and gone.
Just like that.
Gone. And they're like, what? Where the heck did this thing go? So I mean, it played like that for 7 to 10 minutes the whole time.
Were you watching it after the pilot had come back? This isn't Dave Fravor. This is the subsequent flight that they mounted the FLIR pod.
I'm not sure when this was. I'm just seeing a replay of
It's a replay.
Right.
Yeah, because
it wasn't live. It wasn't. This video that I was watching wasn't live.
It was a replay of this other pilot who we're told from Kevin launched after Fravor. Fravor came back and said, "Let's put a FLIR pod on there and see it." And that's what the tape of. That could have been what the tape.
I don't. I'm not in that position to be able to say, yeah, that's what this was, because it's two separate departments.
Yeah.
So it's the video that we see. If you look at the FLIR image that we have now, compared to what it was, if you look at the Go Fast.
Right.
How clear that image is. It was just as clear, if not clearer, when the original video come out.
So you're looking at the digital image of it. What we're seeing is like a video version or a degraded version.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty
not as good. So what you saw was we just saw the beginning of it moving off, but it goes faster than that. Oh, it does.
The what you see there is not a very high.
No.
But I mean, it's going straight and then it turns. But even for pulling those kind of G's, a human would not be able to survive it.
And you saw this, and the tape is right angle turns.
Right. Yeah. And vertical. So it's really sporadic.
It's not like any technology that you've ever seen.
And that's the thing. Like in the original video, you could actually see the protrusions coming out of the bottom of it.
Those two little things. Yeah.
Yeah, and what you see on the the images that the renders that people have done, and what was it, Commander Fravor said, that it has like these little
appendages,
hockey stick. But on the tape itself, you could only see the two and where it's hanging down on the bottom versus the L shape. So it wasn't so clear that you could see a small hook at the bottom of the.
It didn't look like a hook to you from that video.
Right,
it looked like two things hanging down.
Yeah. So, and that just kind of, it kind of goes with what he's saying. He was there, saw the thing, and said that, well, it does have that. But
he saw it.
All I could see were the two appendages at the bottom.
In this very clear digital footage that the public hasn't seen yet.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, this thing had no propulsion.
No
It
propulsion.
had no wings. It had no windows. Had no doors. What the heck am I looking?
We don't even know how it's staying aloft, right?
No.
We don't see the propulsion
And for it
system.
to just straight up go vertical, it's crazy.
Jason, did anyone ever comment to you about it later? I mean, no one knew that you had seen it, so you didn't sign an NDA, right?
No, never did.
And no one approached you saying, don't talk about it, because they
No.
didn't know you were even there. You're
Nope.
just delivering a part. So you're kind of like a sneak witness
Yeah,
here, right?
yeah.
You're not one of the
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I don't mind. And the reason why I don't mind to come out is because I never signed anything that says you should not talk about this.
But
So,
the
here I am.
whole video, what do you think happened to that video? Is
have
it
no
somewhere in the black vaults of the Pentagon?
Who knows?
We don't
Well,
know.
you know, when they come to the ship,
They came to the ship.
yeah,
They did come to the Princeton.
yeah, that's what Gary was saying, that they did come there and
And
whatever they did.
that would have
behind
been
the scenes.
on one of the data bricks, what you were watching.
I have no.
We
clue.
don't know where it was.
For that, when it comes to that, I have no clue. Like,
Yeah.
that's not in my department. It's above my pay grade, not in my department.
It's above your pay grade. Okay, so I have to ask you this question. You don't have to answer. When you saw it, what is going through your mind about what you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, it was high tech government equipment, or I'm not saying it was aliens.
Someone else's.
Right.
It's not ours. And
It's
you could-
definitely
not ordinary.
Not at all. And I mean, it could it be? Sure. Could it be extraterrestrial? Absolutely. Could it be government? Absolutely. I'm open to all possibilities with it, because what I saw, there was no human on board that thing.
No human was there.
Right.
Wow, it's incredible.
But I think the biggest factor in this whole thing is there was no propulsion. There was
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
and you could see, if there's heat signatures, there was no heat signature from it, like you would see out the back of a jet.
Because you saw it from the FLIR
Yeah.
video.
Yeah,
It was in
so-
FLIR mode, what you saw?
Yeah. They were flipping it back
Infrared.
and forth.
They were flipping it back, that's what we were
Yeah,
told. They're flipping it back and
from-
forth.
You would see it to the heat signature, or not the heat signature, but just the way it reverses the image, the black, and then to the white.
Was the other guy there in the room while you were watching it too? And
Yeah.
were you both looking at it and
Yeah.
going, what in the world?
Well,
is
he had
this?"
already seen it, so
He had already seen it, and
Right.
you're both going, what is
yeah.
it's just so cool.
Like, what the heck is going on here? It was definitely weird.
Yeah. All right, Jason. Well, listen, thanks a lot.
All right,
Appreciate
Ron.
your time and
Yep.
sharing this. Thanks for coming forward.
For sure.
And we'll look forward to see what we're learning about this, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.